Well, good hump day to ya. It's Dan. I want to welcome you to my rainy home in the sticks. I hope everybody is having a show enough good Wednesday. But I'm here to tell you, in East Central Mississippi, this rain just ain't gonna let up. It's just showing up raining. It's been raining for like the last 3 days. Well, past week actually. Before we get off into this video, I always like to mention that if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you're returning just to see what old Dan's got going on over her, I thank y'all for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is we're going to get off into this grow shack and we are going to talk about some microgreens. Give me a second and that's what we fitting to do. Microgreens. All right, Dan, talking about microgreens. Yes, I have done a lot of research, several months research on microgreens. Okay, Dan, why microgreens? Well, for one, Skylar and I love eating salads, and we actually like microgreens as well. Two, they're real easy to grow, given you use the right soil composition and light. So what I'm going to do today is, or what I'm going to share with you and y'all today is, we're going to talk about how we're going to plant out some microgreens, the soil that I'm going to use, and the watering technique that I'm going to use. Right off the bat, I'm not a microgreenologist or anything like that. I'm just an old boy that wants to grow some microgreens. They are expensive in the store if you can find them. So I want to grow them myself. On top of that, I have quite a few friends. I have two friends right off the top of my head in Louisiana. One used to grow microgreens on the commercial level, and I actually called him, picked his brains real good, and he gave me a whole bunch of pointers. And probably actually pointers that I would have never thought about doing, and I'm glad I talked to him because he was like, hey, you do it this way, you're not gonna have a problem. So we're gonna quit with the blib blabbing, and I'm gonna show you what microgreens we're gonna plant out today and the equipment and soil that we're gonna use. Okay, microgreen wise, we're gonna attempt to grow a spicy salad mix, and later on, depending on how this one does, we are gonna grow out some mustard. I'm not endorsed by this company at all, but I like to buy my microgreens from a company called Mountain Valley Seed Company, and heard nothing but good things about this company, so we're gonna give their seeds a go. What are we gonna plant them in, Dan? Well, we're just going to use a standard 10-20 tray. We're going to use two actually, and I'll explain that to you here in a second. Soil wise, I'm just using some eco-friendly burpee seed starting mix. I'll explain to you why I'm going to use this. About 2 cups of water, a misting bottle, and just a little bitty small measuring cup that measures out ounces. And we're going to plant out probably about 1.5 ounces of spicy salad mix. Why are you using seed starting mix, Dan? Well, we want the growing medium to be light and fluffy if we can. We don't want to use anything like a gardening soil or anything like that. Potting mix will probably work, but I'm going to use seed starting mix because in essence, we are planting out some seeds. This is a light, fluffy, well-draining medium, so we're going to run with that. First thing we're going to do is that 2 cups of water, I'm going to pour it straight into this 10-20 tray. And I'll explain to you why I'm doing that once I get the soil put into this 10-20 tray. What I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to start adding my growing medium into the 10-20 tray. And the level of soil is going to be important as well. And all we want to do is just move that media out. Smooth it out, and I'm probably gonna go maybe probably about up to here on this 10-20 tray. Okay, and that's looking about right. Here's the other 10-20 tray. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place that down on top of the first one, kind of like that. We're just gonna pack it down just a little bit and compress that soil. If you notice, compressing that soil down with that other 10-20 tray, it left these little bitty ridges and grooves. We're just going to smooth that out because that is something we don't want because we don't want our seeds to clump up. All right, Dan, what was the deal with putting the water into the 10-20 tray and then adding the the seed starting mix on top of the water? Well, sometimes you can have issues with mold and a fungal issue, and that's what we don't want. What we want to do is this seed starting mix, we want it to soak up as much water from the bottom as we possibly can. And once we get our seeds planted out, we're going to mist them down with a watering bottle. I do believe that that is going to cut down a lot on any mold issues that's something to be seen. But from what I understand, what I've read and what I've heard, it just works out really good that way. So let's get our seeds sowed out into this 10-20 tray. Here's our spicy salad mix, and we're gonna plant these out pretty thick, right at about 2 ounces of seeds. Next thing we want to do is we want to broadcast these seeds out as evenly as we possibly can, and we want to pay particular attention to catching these edges of the 10-20 tray. And of course you're gonna be like, oh dang, you're gonna spill the seeds, but that's okay. If you take your time, broadcast it out evenly, when it grows up you won't have any spots. It'll just, this whole tray hopefully will be covered in nothing but a spicy green mix. So let's get to spreading them out. Let's get to broadcasting these seeds. And again, all we want to do is try to get these seeds as even as we can and broadcast it out as evenly as we can. I hope I'm not repeating myself. There are microgreen seeds. That's the spicy salad mix. I hope you can see it. The next step is we're just going to hit these guys with a spray bottle and just water them in. Not soak them in, but just mist them down real good. So let's do that. All right, let's give them a mist. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the second 10-20 tray. Just going to set it down right on top of it. All right, Dan, what's the deal with the second 10-20 tray that you put on top of the first one? Real easy explanation. When you plant seeds, you basically plant them in the ground and you cover them up with soil. What we're doing is we planted out our seeds on top of the growing medium. We set this 10-20 down on top of it to mimic being planted in the ground. Microgreens do not need light to begin with, to germinate. They don't. That's what that 10-20 tray is going to do. It's going to block out the light, and it's also going to make those seeds think, hey, look, I'm in the ground, so let's grow. What's going to happen is, as these seeds start germinating, hopefully, we will know, because they will eventually, they'll lift these trays up as they're growing up, and that's what we want to see. Now, the only thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the 10-20 filled with the micros. I'm going to set them down on top of my grow rack. In a couple 5 days, we're going to see what it does. It may take 3. Who knows? We're going to see how it goes. One thing that you have to do with microgreens is, for one, you need to actually pick what microgreens that can possibly grow good for you in your area. Given the best growing environment, I'm sure any kind of seeds would grow anywhere. But your microgreens, especially your spicy mix, your spicy salad mix, and the mustard greens, they're going to grow pretty fast. I'm probably going to do the microgreens in a few different videos. I was like, hey, mate, should I do one long video? Nah, let's do a couple of short videos just so I can show y'all how I'm doing it, bring you up to speed on how they're growing, and then we'll rock on from there. All right, brothers and sisters, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. We got some microgreens started over here at the home in the sticks. Lord of mercy, the electricity is flickering on and off bad over here. And again, I hope everybody's having a show enough good Wednesday, and I hope y'all are having a safe one. If you like this video, go on and give it a thumbs up to help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home in the Sticks channel, Lord of mercy, y'all need to come on over here and give old Dan a look, because I'm always doing stuff like trying to grow some microgreens. With that being said, you know it's coming. Dan reference showing up, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You sure enough get your shine on. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.